Hello techies, welcome to Techie Vedas. In today's session, we are going to discuss about the one of the most important feature which has been introduced in Java 8 version. That is nothing but Stream API. And before starting our session, I would like to request you, if you like my content and video and explanation, please do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon. Also like it and share it. Let's get into our session now. Stream API. Java provides a new additional package in Java 8 version that is called Stream. And this package, the Stream API package, consists of classes, interfaces and enumerations to allow functional style operations on the elements. Functional style of operations, nothing but functional style of programming on the elements. We can use the stream by importing. Generally, if you want to use any functionality, nothing but any specific feature, we have to import the specific package. In the same way, we have to import java.util.stream package to work on the streams. Okay. The first concept, what is a stream API in Java? Let's look into this. The stream API is used to process the collection of objects. The main motto of Stream API is to process the collection of objects. A stream is a sequence of objects that supports various methods which can be pipelined to produce the desired result. So based upon this point, what we understand, nothing but Stream API we generally use a collection framework in the Java. Also, stream is nothing but a sequence of objects, nothing but which are interlinked one after one to get our desired output or desired result. This is what it's mentioned here. A stream is a sequence of objects that supports various methods. Methods means different functions, okay, which can be pipelined to produce the desired result. Okay, this will be like the stream will be like see. This is the stream. Here we will get the output. This is the source of the stream. Okay, these are the piped objects, sequence of objects. These are the objects which are linked, piped together to get the desired output. You got it right? Next one. Why do we use stream in Java? Okay, why do we use stream in Java? Java streams represent a pipeline through which the data will flow and the functions to operate on the data. This is the same thing, right? We have discussed here, but this is a concept of layman can understand this, and this is a little bit technical. What they are saying technically, Java streams represent a pipeline through which data will flow, nothing but, as we said, this is the source, this is the pipeline through which the data will flow from here to this is the output we got, nothing but we get it. In between before means in between a source and output, we have a pipeline here, sequence of objects. The sequence of us means we have different methods or functions in the Stream API to operate on these objects to get the data, the required data output. You got it right? Next, Stream API provides below features. Let's see. Stream does not store any elements. Okay, it doesn't store any elements because see here, this is what we are generally discussing. Stream is a pass-through channel. Stream is a pass-through channel. We use some functions to operate those objects or data and get the result, required output. So we are not storing any data here or any elements here. This is what they are saying. Stream does not store any elements. It simply conveys elements from source such as data structure. This is the source. Source is nothing but a data structure, a collection object, and so on. It may be anything. Or else an array or input output channel through a pipeline of computational operations. Yeah, same what we have discussed so far. It is in the technical terms. Okay, from a source such as data structure or else an array or an IO channel through a pipeline. It will happen through a pipeline of computational operations. These computational operations are called as functions or methods. Stream is functional in nature. Yeah, stream is a functional in nature. Operations performed on a stream does not modify its source. For example, filtering a stream obtained from a collection, it produces a new stream without the filtered elements rather than removing the elements from the source collection. Did you got the point? They are saying like whatever the operations that we perform on this stream, it doesn't modify the source. Obviously, right? This is correct, right? See, from the source we are getting the data, we are doing some operations here. We are doing some operations here based upon our requirement, and we got the result. So whatever the operations we are doing in the stream, that won't affect the source data, right? That is what they are saying. Operations performed on a stream does not modify its source. For example, filtering a stream obtained from a collection. Here we are doing a filtering option. We are doing some filtering based upon our requirement from a collection. Here source is a collection. It produces a new stream. Here whatever we filtered out, right, with the filtered out data we will get a new stream without filtered elements. Okay, rather than removing elements from the source collection. Got it? So without having the complete data from source, we are getting the refined data, nothing but filtered data here. It doesn't mean that whatever operations we perform in the stream doesn't affect the source. You got it, right? It's clear right now. Next point. Stream is lazy and evaluates code only when required. Stream doesn't evaluate the code again and again very frequently. As means there is a life cycle for the stream. See, next point, that is only the elements of a stream are only visited once during the life of a stream. Okay, the elements of the stream are only visited once during the life of a stream. Like an iterator, a new stream must be generated to revisit the same elements of the source. If you want to revisit the same elements of the same source, we have to have a new stream rather than using the already existing stream. Nothing but only once in the lifetime of the stream it will visit the source elements, not very frequently. Okay, not every time. You can use stream filter. You can use stream to filter, to collect, to print, and to convert from one data structure to another. It is also one of the major functionality of the stream API. What it will do? It will try to filter and collect the data. After that we can print it and we can convert the data from one data structure to another data structure, etc., etc. You are very clear about all these points, right? We are covered what is a stream API in Java, what is the purpose of the stream API, why do we choose stream API in Java, what is the exact functionality of stream API. Okay, I hope that you understand these points very well. Now we will see Next one, in Java 8, predicate is a functional interface. Predicate, this word is very important in Stream API, because for each and every method when we are working on that as a syntax, we will we will try to explain the method functionality by using this word predicate. That is why I have mentioned here in Java 8, predicate is a functional interface. Okay, it is a functional interface. We are aware of this functional interface, right? Functional interface in Java is nothing but it should contain only one abstract method, then only we will call it as a functional interface. You got it? The interface which contains only one abstract method, then only we will call that interface as functional interface. To what is that? To define that interface as a functional interface, we have to use the annotation called functional at the rate of functional interface. Predicate is a functional interface which accepts an argument and returns a boolean. Okay, boolean, true or false. Usually it used to apply in a filter. It used to apply in a filter for a collection of objects. From here we will see we have a long list of methods. We have many number of methods available in Stream API. I am trying to give each and every method and its functionality and its example. It will take much time to cover this. Still, I am taking time to explain you all these things clearly. Please listen carefully from here onwards, because we are going to discuss about each and every method of Stream API. First of all, the basic thing is how to create a stream. We have to create a stream, right? Before what is that to do afterwards, any processing or proceeding with some action item on that. So let's first see how to create a stream using the existing array. This is the one of the array, private static array. Array name is array of employees. So here what we are doing, we are creating object for the employee class, new employee of, these are the values. Okay, we have entered 3 employee records here. Seems to be this is the employee number, employee name, and the salary or price. Okay, how we are creating a stream with the existing array. That array name is array of EMPs. How means, just this is the syntax, stream dot of array of employees. Array of employees means this is the object name, nothing but array object name. See here, array name. We are just passing the array here. In that way we can create a stream. So this stream contains the array, complete array of elements. You got it right? How to create it? Stream dot of brackets, we have to mention the array name. We can also obtain a stream from an existing list. This is the another way to create a stream using the existing list. Earlier we did using arrays, now using list. Let's see how to do it. List of employee means we have created, means we have created list here. This is the collection. List is the collection element. List of employee object. This list contains, this collection contains the employee objects. Name is emp list. Arrays dot as list of. Arrays dot as list. What we are doing, whatever the arrays, array name is array of employees, right? We have passed the array name here. So we are converting the array of elements into list. That is why we are using arrays dot as list. Arrays dot as list of array name. Okay, till here one part is over. Now the main part is creating a stream from an existing list. Now this is the list now. Okay, emp list. What we have to do? Emp list dot stream of. So what we are doing here, that list object dot stream of. In that way we are creating a stream using the existing list. Note that Java 8 added a new stream method to the collection interface. Java 8 added a new stream method to the collection interface. Let's see what it is. And we can create a stream from individual objects. Okay, so far we have created stream using array object, after that list object. Now we can create stream using the individual objects, with the help of stream.off method. Let's see. Stream.off array of employees of 0 at 0 index, whatever the value is there, right, that will be replaced with this value. First element, second element, comma third element, comma fourth element, and so on, like that. Instead of passing array object here, instead of passing the array object, we can pass simply array element index, 0 index, first index, second index, and so on. Or simply using stream.builder also, or else we can create the stream using the stream.builder of. If you use this method, we can create the stream easily. Let's see how to do it using stream.builder method. We have created one stream.builder object that contains the employee details, employee object. Okay, what we are doing here, stream.builder of, and we are passing it to stream.builder of employee object, and this is the name. So stream.builder object dot accept of array of first index element, second index element, third index element, and so on. We are passing stream.builder, nothing but we have created a stream object here. Once we create the stream object, with that stream object dot accept of, what we are saying, accept this first index value, second index value, third index value, and so on. At last, what we are doing after that, we are saying that whatever the stream we have created, so that stream dot build of, nothing but please build the stream that we have created with this list of elements that we have passed as a parameters here. And emp stream, if we go through the emp stream, you will get whatever the array of emps element values are there here, right? In the three methods we will get into this emp stream. There are also other ways to obtain a stream, some of which we will see in this section itself, but later. Okay, there are how many ways that stream would be created in Java or Java 8. We can say that there are 4 ways, mainly 4 ways. One is stream, okay, stream dot of, one method stream dot build, one method stream dot builder, stream dot builder method dot build. Like in this way we can build a stream, and using by passing array object or array elements, list of array elements, array object or array elements to the stream dot of array elements In this way we can create the stream, and by using a list object we can create stream, and so on. Also another way is there. So far this is another way. 5 ways can say that, by passing individual array elements to the stream dot of method, array of 0 comma array of 1 and so on. Like this we can create a stream offset. I hope you all are clear with this, right? With this part. Okay, let's see the next part. Java stream operations, or we can say that functions, or we can say that methods. These are very, very important in this topic, because so far we know what is a stream API and what is the use, means how do we use it, what is the main purpose, and how to create a stream. But we have to know what are all major methods or functions or operations are available in stream API, because means by using all those methods or functions only we will do our work, or we will do our programs. Okay, first one, for each method. For each method is a simplest and most common operation. It loops over the stream elements, calling the supplied function on each element. We know that for each method are enhanced for loop. This for each method, we will discuss about this for each method separately in a different session, not in this session. Okay, for each method is also introduced in Java 8 version. Just remember that point. For each method is a simplest and most common operation. It loops over the stream of elements and calling the supplied function on each element. Okay, this is a easy way to understand the for each method. This method is so common that it has been introduced directly in iterable and map interfaces. This method is so common that it has been introduced directly in iterable and map etc. interfaces. This is the example for each method. Let's see. We are saying that this is the test. By placing the annotation test means we are saying that this is the test one. Public void. This method name is, see here, method name is so nothing but this is the long method name. However, just we have to know that this is the method name. Okay, and internally what we are doing here, this emp list dot stream dot for each method. Okay, for that emp list what we are saying, stream. So we are creating a stream with the emp list, and we have to loop, right? Loop each and every element in the emp list. For that what we are doing, dot for each method of, in that method we are passing, see, e dot e salary increment of, e dot salary increment of. What we are saying in this method, go means in this method nothing but run this for each and every element available in the emp list. Okay, with these parameter values, and assert that employee list comma contains of, if it has property of salary, nothing but this is the condition check. Okay, assertion we know, right? Assertion is for condition check. Here what we are saying, if salary, nothing but if salary equal to this much amount, 1,10,000, this salary equal to 2,20,000 and so on, 3,30,000. Okay, what it is saying, this will effectively call the salary increment method on each element in the emp list. Whatever the emp element list we have here, right, it will be it will effectively call the salary increment. This method for each and every element or every record in this. Okay. For each method is a terminal operation, which means that after the operation is performed, the stream pipeline is considered consumed and can no longer be used. Yeah, obviously, right? Once the work is done, however, which means that after the operation is performed successfully, the stream pipeline is considered as consumed and can no longer be used. Next important method is map. Map method produces a new stream after applying a function to each element of the original stream. What map function or map method do? Map method does a new stream. It produces nothing but it creates a new stream after applying a function to each and every element of the original stream. Okay, nothing but after filtering something, after mapping something, after doing something, definitely we will get some updated version of the source data. Okay, whatever the filtered data, we will call it as a new stream. The new stream could be of a different type. Okay, let's see the example. This below example, it converts the stream of integers into the stream of employees. Stream of integers are the predefined ones. Stream of employees object is nothing but it's customized. Okay, user created. When map id to employees, then get employees stream. Okay, whatever the method name, just ignore it. This is the method name. So this is how we can declare the integer array. Okay, integer array, the name is emp ids 1 2 3 and so on. So we are creating one list object using the employee record, employee data. Okay, how we are creating? Initially we are creating a stream with one of the method stream dot of we are passing this employee ids. So we are creating a stream with employee IDs, integer employee IDs. Okay, but here, see here, this is a integer of employee IDs, but here we are capturing it as a employee offset. Let's see how to do it. Dot, what we are doing, dot here, dot map of, map this employee repository, map this employee repository, find by ID, dot collect of, collectors dot to list of, and if it is equals of employees dot size, nothing but 3 here, comma employee IDs dot length. Let's see, I will explain you this one. Here we obtain an integer stream of employee IDs from the array. Well, this is the array. We have received the stream of employee IDs, integer stream of employee IDs from the array. Each integer is passed to the function. Which function? This is the function here. See, employee repository find by ID, which returns the corresponding employee offset. So whatever the values we have in the stream, right, it will be passed to this method. What it is saying, find by ID, based upon the ID we will get the corresponding employee record or data. Okay, this effectively forms an employee stream. In this way it effectively forms the employee stream. Next one is collect. See here, we have used the collect. We have used collect, dot collect method. We are discussing what is the use of collect here. We saw how collect works in the just below, means above example. It is one of the common ways to get stuff out of the stream once we are done with all the processing. Nothing but what here we have mentioned, we will use the collect when we want to get the complete outcome. Once we are done with the whatever the data means required operation on that particular data, what we will do after finishing that, we will collect the data. Okay, it is one of the common ways to get stuff out of the stream once we are done with the all the processing. If you use anywhere, if you see anywhere this collect method, just what is that, replace collect with, just we are getting the result of the operation, result of the data. This is the example and explanation. Let's see what we are doing here. We already created employee list, nothing but with the employee list we have created the stream dot collect of collectors dot to list. What we are doing, whatever the data we have collected, we are making it as a list offset to list. Okay, after that the collect method, it performs mutable fold operations, repackaging the elements to some data structures and applying the some additional logic, concatenating them. See here, we are getting the list of objects here, nothing but employee list. What they are saying, we can do with the collect method, we can repackage the elements to some data structures and applying some additional logic, concatenating them on data elements held in the stream instance. Nothing but whatever the data held in the stream instance, we can do some operations based upon our requirement using the collect method. The strategy for this operation is provided via the collector interface. The strategy for this operation is provided via the collector interface implementation. In this example above, we used the toList collector to collect all the toList collector. See here, toList, one second, toList collector here, collectors dot toList. We mentioned that, right? We used the toList collector to collect all the stream elements into the list instance. This is the list instance. We have collected all the elements. Okay, we have collected all the elements into the list instance. This is the use of that collector. Next important method is filter. This produces a new stream that contains elements of the original stream that pass a given test. Okay, what filter method will do? It produces a new stream that contains the elements of a original stream that pass a given test. This is very easy understanding way. Nothing but once we filter out, what will happen? The source data will be there in the source only. Okay, it may be any data structure, but whatever the filtered data is available in the stream, right, that is nothing but which matches the condition that we have mentioned in the stream, mentioned in the stream. So whatever the data, whatever the records, whatever the information that matches the given condition, that data only will be available in the stream. Let's see the example. Here employee IDs, integer employee IDs array. This is the array. Here creating the stream with the integer array, that is employee IDs. We are passing it to list instance. Okay, this is the instance, list instance. After that we are mapping it to, see here, for each of employee data or record or value available in this integer array, each and every time this method will be invoked. Okay, this method will be invoked. We are using one condition, that is E not equal to null. We are saying that this element should not be null. Also another condition here, this is and one condition is checking that it shouldn't be null. Second condition, and this salary, whatever the salary we are getting for that employee, right, it should be greater than 2 lakhs. Okay, and after that we are collecting the data and we are making that a to list. We are converting it to list because okay, we are converting it to list. In the above example, we first filter out null references, okay, for invalid employee IDs, and then again apply a filter to only keep employees with salaries over a certain threshold. This is the threshold, this is the condition. You got it right? Find first, this is one of the method or function, or can say that operation. Find first method returns an optional for the first entry in the stream. The optional can, of course, it may be empty. Let's see the example to understand it clearly. Okay, however integer employee IDs we are passing, creating the stream, and this will method will be invoked for each and every element in the array. Here filter condition is it shouldn't be null, not equal to null, and get salary is greater than 1 lakh. And dot, this is the method we are using, find first method, dot or else null. Let's see. The first employee with the salary greater than 1 lakh is returned. If it is returned, if no, okay, if there is an employee with 1 lakh, then it will return that employee details. But if no such employee exists, means there is no employee is getting greater than 1 lakh salary, then what it will do? It simply returns null. Null is returned because we have mentioned here, find first, based upon this condition, find first element, first occurrence. If it is not there, not available, not existing, simply return the null. You understand, right? Another method is toArray. We saw how we used collect method to get the data out of the stream, right? If we need to get an array out of the stream, we can simply use the toArray. This is used to get the data from the out of the stream. toArray is used to get the array of the data, to get an array out of the stream. That is the use of toArray method. Let's see the example for the same. Okay, here we are creating a stream with the employee list dot toArray. We are converting it to toArray employee array, creating the new employee array and converting it to employee. Here employee list, this is the employee list, emp list is nothing but the instance dot toArray comma equals to of employees. The syntax of this one, the syntax employee square brackets double colon new, it creates an empty array of employee. What it will do, we are creating the new array, new employee array, new empty employee array. You got it right? This means that we are creating the new employee array with empty data, empty values, nothing will be there in that, which is then filled with elements from the stream. Okay, once we create the stream, we can fill that employee array with the stream of the elements. Flat map. A stream can hold complex data structures like stream of, list of, string. How it holds another data structure in the stream? Stream of, list of, string means we are holding list object in the stream, and that list contains the string data, only string data. Okay, we can say that this is the generic list. In cases like this, the flap map method, it helps us to flatten the data structure to simplify further operations. Let's see the example, then we will understand it easily with the practical knowledge. Here what I am doing, I am creating the list offset. In that also list of string offset. Okay, let's see. Arrays dot as list. Okay, we are converting these arrays into list and passing it to the list offset, and a list instance can say that as list of arrays dot as list of, this is the value, the data, whatever the data. What we are doing here, we are creating one stream object, names nested dot stream dot flat map of collection stream, and collect to list, we are converting the to list. Okay, after that what we are doing, names flat stream dot size of, this stream size we are verifying, and this one names nested, this is the names nested. Notice how we were able to convert the stream of list of string to a simpler stream of string. Okay, what they are saying, generally we have to create stream like this, stream of list of string, stream of list of string, generally, because we have the list of string. In the same way we have to create a stream of list of string, but in simple way we are creating the stream, that is stream of string. This is the stream of string concept. Next method or function or operation is peek. We have seen for each method earlier in the same session, right, just a few minutes ago, which is a terminal operation. However, sometimes we need to perform multiple operations on each element, not only one operation one time. What for each method will do, it will do the, what is that, it will perform the one operation on one element at once, at a time. But sometimes we may get a situation need to perform multiple operations on each element of the stream before any terminal operation is applied. Let's see further. The peek method can be useful in situations like, simply put, like it performs the specified operations on each element of the stream. It performs the specified operation on each element of the stream and it returns a new stream. What it is saying, it performs the specified operation on each element of the stream and returns a new stream which can be used further. Yeah, what it is saying, on the existing stream it will do some extra operations, and based upon that we will get a new stream, right, with the new data, latest data or filtered out data. So we will use that new stream in a further situation whenever it is required. The peek method is an intermediate operation. Let's see this with the example. Okay, we are creating employee array. This is the data of the employee array. So in this way, what we are doing, this is the array, right, employee array. We are converting that array into list and passing it to the emp list instance. Okay. We are creating the stream using the employee list. whatever the emp list is there, right? We are creating a stream using that elements. Dot peak of e dot salary increment of 10.0. Peak of, we are printing something. This is the method we are invoking. This is where we are just printing all the data. After that we are collecting data and converting it to the list, and we are checking, we are condition check this one, whatever the data we got, right, for the first element, whether it is equal to 11 lakhs, 1,10,000, 2,20,000 and 3,30,000. Here the first peak is used to increment the salary of each employee. This is the first peak. This first peak method is used to increment the salary of each employee, and the second peak method is used to print the employees data. And finally, whatever the collect method we have used, it is the terminal operation. Once we collect the data, is the terminal operation. What are the method types and pipelines? As we have been discussing, the Java stream operations are divided into intermediate and terminal operations. See here, collect is used as a terminal operation, okay, and some function we have discussed as a intermediate operation. See, the peak method is an intermediate operation, whereas okay, this is the terminal operation. Collect is the terminal operation, and peak is the intermediate operation. Intermediate operations such as filter method, it return a new stream on which the further processing can be done. Yeah, we know, right? Once we filter out the data, we will get a new stream. We can do further processing on that newly created filtered data. Terminal operations such as for each method, it mark the stream as consumed. What it will do once the data, means when the work is completed, it marks the stream as consumed, after which point it can no longer be used further. Yeah, we know, right, this point. A stream pipeline consists of a stream source. Yes, this is the stream pipeline, right? This is the stream pipeline. This contains the stream source data, followed by 0 or more intermediate operations and a terminal operation. For any stream, there should be 0 or more intermediate operations and one terminal operation. Yeah, sorry. Here is a sample stream pipeline where employee list is the source, filter method is the intermediate operation, and count is the terminal operation. Let's see the example for easy understanding. We are creating a stream with the employee list and we are passing it to emp counter. We are giving the condition as this method, nothing but for each and every record this method will be invoked, and the whatever the data is there, right, it will be verified with this condition, against this condition 2 lakhs. Some operations are deemed short circuiting operations. Short circuiting operations allow computations on infinite streams to be compiled in infinite time. This is what about this one. Here, see here, we are using the iterate method. We are creating the stream using the iterate method. This is the iteration. I into 2, I equal to I into 2 multiplication. Okay, it will start with the 2 and then continues with 2 into 2. After that I value into 2. Okay, here nothing but I equal to I into 2. Here we are creating the infinite stream. Skip of 3, limit 5, nothing but we are saying that once we get the 5 elements, from this iterate, then we have to stop this loop. After that we have to collect the data. See here, arrays dot as list of, these are the data values, these are the elements, only 5 elements. We have given limit as 5. That is the reason we have the 5 elements here. Here we use short circuiting operations, skip method. We have used the skip method. See here, we have used the skip method. The skip method is used to skip first 3 elements. What we are saying, first please skip these 3 elements, first 3 elements, and limit to 5 elements, and limit it to 5 elements from the infinite stream generated using iterate method. Okay, let's see. You understand, right? What is the use of skip of 3 means? We are saying that first 3 elements, please skip the first 3 elements in the list, and we have to run this loop until maximum 5 elements. After that we have to just come out of from that loop. Lazy evaluation. One of the most important characteristics of Java streams is that they allow for significant optimizations through lazy evaluations. Computation on the source data is only performed when the terminal operation is initiated and source elements are consumed as needed. So as we already discussed, it won't just look into the source element again and again. Okay, this is what they are saying. What is the reason means? This is the reason. All intermediate operations are lazy, so they are not executed until a result of processing is actually needed. Yeah, if really needed means, if the processing is really needed by the stream, then only it will go and do the processing with the source elements, otherwise it won't do anything. Find first. See here, same we have discussed the find first, right? We are creating the stream using the employee IDs. This is the employee IDs. Find first. We are saying that whoever has the salary as greater than 1 lakh, if we get that employee details, if those details are available or existing, display that. Otherwise, else case, just return the null value. See here, it first performs all the operations on ID1. Since the salary of ID1 is not greater than 1 lakh, the processing moves on to the next element and so on. ID2 satisfies the both of the filter predicates, and hence the stream evaluates the terminal operation find first. Find first is a terminal operation and it returns the result. No operations are performed on ID3 and 4. Okay. Processing streams lazily, avoiding examining all the data when that is not necessary. This behavior becomes even more important when the input stream is infinite and not just very large. Yeah, if it is infinite, it's not possible to go and process this source data again and again and frequently. Okay. Sorted, comparison based stream operations. Sorted method. Sorted operation, what it will do? By the name itself indicating that this sorts the stream elements based on the comparator passed. Whatever the comparator we passed into it. The comparator we passed into it. Let's see. We are sorting out the employees based on their names. How we are sorting out? See here, we are creating the stream using the EMP list. So this is the employees. What we are doing by creating the stream and dot sorted of, this is the syntax. Dot sorted of employee 1, employee 2, we are comparing. Once here we are getting the first employee name and we are comparing with the second employee name and we are collecting the data. These are the names of the employees. In the above example, if we had a used find first after the sorted. The sorting of all elements is done before applying the find first, obviously, right? If we need to use find first method on the stream API, the list of elements should be in sorted state, either in descending or ascending order. This happens because the operation cannot know when the first element is until the entire stream is sorted. Okay, that is why we will sort out actually. Min and max methods are functions. As the name suggests that min and max, it returns the minimum and maximum element in the stream respectively, based upon a comparator. Here also they return an optional, since a result may or may not exist. Okay, however, this is the easy method only, we knew it very well. See here, min of employee 1 comma employee 2. Here checking with the IDs whether the first employee ID is minimum, means which employee ID is minimum. Either if we get the employee ID, that is fine, minimum employee ID, or else what we are saying, throw no such element exception. We are creating new here, we are creating a new exception, no such element exception. Okay, we can also avoid defining the comparison logic by using the comparator dot comparing of. We can use this one. Instead of doing so, we can use comparator dot comparing of. Let's see how to do it. See here, we used the same. We have created the stream of the employee list and max of. Here we are using comparator dot comparing of. What we are comparing? We are comparing the employee's salary, or else we are throwing the new exception, that is no such element exception. Okay, this is how we will throw the exception in the stream API. And here this is the distinct. We know that if we use the distinct, we will get the unique data only, eliminating the duplicates. Okay, it uses the equals methods of the elements to decide whether the two elements are equal or not. If the two elements are equal, what it will do, it will eliminate one duplicate element, and we will get the unique element only. See here, 253 243. What it is doing, we are creating the stream for the integer list dot distinct of. Okay, till this part what will happen, we will get the unique elements from this array list. After that we are collecting the data. Okay, and these are also major important methods or operations. All match, any match, non match. The name itself saying that if all match, do something. If anything is matched in that element based upon the condition, do something. If none are matched, do something. Okay, these operations all take a predicate and return a boolean. Okay, whatever that means, true or false, we'll get simply true or false. Short circuiting is applied and processing is stopped as soon as the answer is determined. Okay, let's see the example. This is the array list with the list of elements. This is the list instance dot stream. We have created the stream dot all match. This is the condition. All match of condition means I percentile 2 equal to 0. So what it will do, it will check each and every element with this condition. First element 2 percentile 2 equal to 0. This is correct. 4 by 2, this is correct. 5 by 2 is not correct. 6 by 2 is correct. 8 by 2 it is correct. But here we are saying all match, nothing but we will get the false here. Next one, any match. Yeah, any match means in the available 4 elements, out of 5 elements, 4 elements are by 2 equal to 0. By percentile 2 means the element percentile 2 equal to 0. They are saying any match, or all match means and every element should be satisfied this condition. Any match means at least one element should satisfy this condition. Here out of 5, 4 are satisfying. Here we will get the true. Next one, none match. I percentile 3, 2 percentile 3 equal to 0. No, 4 percentile 3 equal to 0. Here it matches 6 percentile 3 equal to 0. 3 2s are 6, right? So none match, but at least one item is matching here. Now for this also we will get the false. See here, all even, nothing but all match, we will get the false. One even, it is true. Last one, this is false. You understand, right? Java stream specializations. From what we discussed so far, stream is a stream of object references, correct? However, there are also the input int stream, long stream and double stream. Yeah, different kind of streams are available, that is int stream, long stream and double stream, which are primitive specializations for int, long and double respectively. Okay, primitive specializations. These are quite convenient when dealing with a lot of numerical primitives. These are very quite convenient when dealing with the lot of numerical primitives. Let's see next points. These specialized streams do not extend stream but extend base stream, on top of which stream is also built. Okay, as a consequence, not all operations supported by stream are present in these stream implementations. For example, the standard min-off and max-off take a comparator, whereas the specialized streams do not take any comparator kind thing. Let's see the example to understand this in a better way. Creation. The most common way of creating a int stream is to call map to int method on existing stream. Map to int method, we are mapping that int stream to int stream and we are creating this stream. Let's see, emp list dot stream of, we are creating the stream dot map to int, we are creating the int stream using map to int of. For this employee class or object dot max of, or else throw no such element exception. Here we start with the stream of employee and get an int stream by supplying the employee get id to map to int. Finally, we call max method, which returns the highest integer. We can also use int stream dot off for creating the int stream. There are two ways. One is like this, we can create int stream like this, okay, using the map to int method, or else int stream dot off. Int stream dot off of 1 2 3, we are creating the int stream, or int stream dot range of, int stream dot range of 10 to 20. Instead of mentioning 10 comma 11 comma 12 comma 13 comma and so on 20, we are just creating the stream int stream with the range method, which creates the int stream of numbers 10 to 19. One important distinction to note before we move on to the next topic is stream dot of 1 2 3, we are creating the stream. This is a one way of creating the stream. This returns a stream of integer and not int stream. Okay, similarly using the map method, instead of map to int, it returns a stream of integer and not a int stream. Okay, okay, however, specialized operations provides additional operations as compared to the standard stream, which are quite convenient. Okay, means we have some other operations, specialized operations, sum of, average of, range of. Let's see some example on that. Here we are getting the salary, we would like to know the average salary in that employee organization or employee department, average of, else throw this exception. Okay, this is the 2 lakhs average. Let's see, reduction operation. Next concept is reduction operations. Reduction operations are nothing but it takes a sequence of input elements and combines them into a single summary. Okay, for example, if we know sum, right, if there are 3 or 4 elements as a source, we will give as a sequence of input elements, but we will get the output as a single element, right? We can say that what is that? Sum is a reduction operation. In the same way, let's see what they are saying. We already saw few reduction operations like find first, we will get the one element only. Min, we will get the one element only. Max, single element only. Like that, sum. You understand, right? What is the use of reduction operations? Let's see the general purpose or reduce operation. Reduce, this is the one of the method. Let's see what is the use. The most common form of reduce is T reduce. Nothing but here, see here, T parameter, T type parameter, T identity, binary operator and accumulator, where identity is the starting value. Here this is the starting value and accumulator is the binary operation we repeated apply. Nothing but it is same as like a traditional for loop. See the example to understand it in a better way. Here creating the stream, okay, dot map of employee get salary, we are getting the salary, and this is the reduce function or method or operation we are using. We are looking for the sum. Let's see, here we start with the initial value of 0. Here we start with the initial value of 0 and repeated apply this one, repeated apply double sum on the elements of the stream. Effectively we have implemented the double stream dot sum of. Effectively we have implemented the double stream, whatever the stream we have created, right? Double stream dot sum of by applying the reduce on the stream. Okay, we will get the sum of that. Advanced collector, we already saw how we used collectors dot to list to get the list out of the stream. Okay, let's now see few more ways to collect the elements from the stream. Joining, we are using joining here. Let's see how we are using joining here. We are creating the stream here with emp list that contains the string of objects or string elements. Map employee, we want to get the name of that employee. Dot collect of collectors dot joining, what we are doing for each and every element we are combining, and in between we are using this one comma dot to string of, we are converting it to string. Let's see, employee names Jeff comma Bezos, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, collectors dot joining method will insert the delimiter. This is the comma is the delimiter. Insert the delimiter between the two string elements. Here see, two string elements, between the two string elements of the stream. It internally uses a java.util.string joiner to perform the joining operation. Okay, it combines, it joins different strings in between the this whatever delimiter we have mentioned there in the joining, it will be placed in between the two strings. And toSet method, we can also use toSet to get a set out of the stream elements. Okay, to get a set out of the stream elements. Let's see how to use it in a practical way. Okay, creating the stream map of employee get name, we want to get the name of an employee. After that we are collecting the data, but we are converting it to toSet. Let's see, we can use the to collection, we can use the collectors to collection to extract the elements into any other collection by passing it a supplier of collection. We can also use a constructor or reference for the supplier. Let's see here what is the main motto of this. After creating the stream, after getting the name of the employee, we are mentioning collect of collectors dot to collection of, we are passing some value, we are creating the new vector based upon this. Here an empty collection is created internally. See here, new collection, the collection name is vector. Here we are creating an empty collection internally and its add method. Okay, and its add method is called on each element of the stream. Okay, summarizing the double, these are very basic things, and we see what it is doing. Summarizing the double method, it is another interesting collector which applies a double producing mapping function to each input element and returns a special class containing statistical information for the resulting values. Instead of theory, better to go through the practical example. Creating the stream, that is the name stat dot collect of collectors dot summarizing double of, getting the salary and summarizing with get count of method will be invoked for each and every element in the array. Here condition check will be happen. Notice how we can analyze the salary of each employee. How can we analyze the salary of each employee and get a statistical information on the data, such as what is the min salary, max salary, average salary, sum of salary, etc., etc. So we all get it like the summarizing double offer. The summary statistics, whatever the summary statistics, right? The summary statistics method can be used here to generate similar result when we are using one of the specialized streams. Okay, how to achieve the above one using the summary statistics method. See here the same example, creating the stream, map to double of, getting the salary dot summary statistics. We will get the whatever the summary statistics we are looking for, like min of, max of sal, min of sal, or average salary, sum of salary, all using this method. Stats dot get sum of, get minimum of, get max of, get average of. See here another method. We can partition a stream into two. Partition by, nothing but by name itself indicating that it is the means it is main what is that main purpose is to partition a stream into two based on the whether the elements satisfy certain criteria or not. Okay, based upon the condition only. Let's split our list of numerical data into even and odds. Okay, these are the elements 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8 should come under even numbers, 5 should come under what is that odd element. Okay, we are passing into list of integer, and here what we are doing, into list dot stream, we are creating the stream here into list dot stream of, and we are processing collectors dot partitioning by. How we are partitioning? Based upon the condition I percentile 2. I means first element 2 percentile 2 equal to 0, then it should be in is even. 4 equal to 0 is even. 5 percentile 2 is not equal to 0, it shouldn't be in is even, it should be in the odd even. Sorry, what is that? Is odd. You got it right? Here the stream is partitioned into map with even and odds stored as true and false keys. Okay, Next, grouping by. Based upon the name, we can just sense it that what is the use of grouping by method. If you know the Oracle, we know, right, group by clause. What we will do in that, I means, as I know that this is the same way. Grouping by method offers advanced partitioning, where we can partition the stream into more than just two groups. Where we can partition the stream into more than just two groups. Okay, advanced to partition by. It takes the classification function as its parameter. This classification function is applied to each element of the stream. The value returned by the function is used as a key to the map that we get from the grouping by collector. Yeah, it's a easy way only as per the theoretical knowledge. Let's see the example. Okay, creating the stream. This is group by alphabet. Okay, let's see. emp list dot stream of collectors dot grouping by. This is the method we are actually discussing about. So new character of, what we are doing, we are getting the name at character of 0. Whatever the character is existing or available at the first position in the name, can say that employee name. We are getting that character. Based upon the character, we are grouping by. In this quick example, we grouped the employees based upon the initial character of their first name, that is correct. And mapping. The grouping by method discussed in this session above, a group of elements of the stream with the use of the map. However, sometimes we might need to group the data into type. Sometimes we might need to group the data into type other than the element type. Okay, let's see the example then. For example, we can use the mapping method, which can actually adapt the collector to a different type using the mapping function. Let's see how it works with the example. Okay, creating the stream that has an employee list, collectors dot grouping by new character of get name. We are getting the first letter from the name. Okay, and collectors dot mapping of, once we get the employee ID and we are collecting it. Here mapping method, it maps the stream element employee into just the employee ID. Okay, which is an integer using the get ID method. Using the get ID method mapping function, these IDs are still grouped based upon the initial character of the employee first name. We did it right already. Reducing is similar to reduce method, which we explored just before. It simply returns a collector which performs, reducing means it simply returns a collector which performs a reduction of its input elements. Okay, let's see the example to know, get the clarity on it. Okay, percentage value is this one. This is the percentage variable, and salary increment overhead employee list dot stream of collectors dot reducing of. If employee salary, once we get the salary and into percentage by 100 comma S1 comma S2, can say that salaries comparing and equaling. Here reducing method gets the salary increment. Here reducing method, this is the reducing method, gets the salary increment of each employee and returns the sum. Okay, sum of the salary plus increment as well. Reducing method is most useful when used in a multi-level reduction, downstream of grouping by method or partitioning by method. To perform a simple reduction on a stream, use the reduce method. If you want to perform the simple reduction on a stream, we have to use the reduce method instead of reducing method. For example, let's see how can we use the reducing with the grouping by. Okay, see, this is the comparator, the employee details, employee object. What we are doing, we are getting the name of the employee. We are just comparing by passing the comparing method to the comparator. We are mapping the character and optional of employee. Let's see how it is happening. Employee list dot stream of, we are creating the stream, and using the grouping by method, we are getting the first character of the employee name, first character from the employee name. Based upon that, we are grouping it. After that, we are reducing, what we are saying, max by name length, means we are just calculating the size of the name. Based upon that, we are saying that what is the maximum, what is the maximum length name. Here we group the employees based on the initial character of their first name. Yes, that is what we are saying. See here, this is what we are doing. Within the each group, we find the employee with longest name. Here what we are doing, finding the length of the maximum length of the employee name, the longest name of the employee. Next concept is parallel streams. Using the support for parallel streams, we can perform stream operations in parallel without having to write any boilerplate code. We just have to designate the stream as parallel. Let's see how to define or designate the stream as parallel and how to achieve it in the example. Here we are creating the array of employee records, 3 records here, and arrays.asList. This array we are converting into a list, and after that, see here we are creating the stream here, employee list stream, and we are saying that parallel dot for each of salary increment 10.o. Okay, here salary increment method, this method would get executed in parallel on multiple elements of the stream by simply adding the parallel syntax. Generally, what will happen here, first this will be invoked for one record, one employee record, one employee data. Once it is done, then for the next record. But if you mention the parallel, then what it will do, parallelly this will be invoked, not one after one, in parallel. This functionality can, of course, it be tuned and configured further if you need more control over the performance characteristics of the operation, as it is the case with writing multi-threaded code. Okay, case with the writing multi-threaded code, we need to be aware of few things while using the parallel streams. Let's see. What are the precautions we have to make sure we have to take while using the parallel streams? We need to ensure that the code is thread safe. Special care needs to be taken if the operations performed in parallel modifies the shared data. See here, if the operations performed in parallel modifies the shared data, we have to take some special care. We should not use parallel streams if the order in which operations are performed or the order returned in the output stream matters. For example, operations like find first method may generate the different result in case of parallel streams. Also, we should ensure that it is worth making the code execute in parallel. See, if we are using parallel means we have to make sure that whatever the code which is executing in parallel, that is worth making by taking that decision. Understanding the performance characteristics of the operation in particular, but also of the system as a whole, is naturally very important here. For example, if we want to perform many operations while the elements are still getting generated, we might not know beforehand how many elements we will need. Unlike using a list or map where all the elements are already populated, We can use infinite streams, also called as unbounded streams. Okay, don't go very depth into it. This is the generic concept. Like means we can create the streams infinitely. We will call it as a infinite streams. Let's see how to create the infinite streams. We provide a supplier to generate method. We will provide a supplier to the generate method, which gets called whenever new stream elements need to be generated. Okay, see here, this is we are creating the infinite stream. How we are creating? Stream dot generate of, we are saying that create the stream with this value math dot random. Nothing but math colon random means random value will be generated. Random value will be generated and it will be stored in the stream, and up to 5 values only, limit of 5. For each method we have to, means for each of system.out.println means we are printing each and every element of the stream. Here we pass math colon random of, here see here, as a supplier, which returns the next random number. It will generate the next random number. With infinite streams, we need to provide a condition to eventually terminate the processing. Exactly, this is the condition, limit 5. One common way of doing this is using limit method. In the above example, we limit the stream to 5 random numbers and print them as they got generated. This is printing. Please note that one more important point, the supplier passed to the generate method could be stateful, and such stream may not produce the same result when used in parallel. That is why we have used random here, because if we use in parallel or differently also, it will generate the random number, unique number. Okay. Okay, iterate method. Iterate method, it takes the 2 parameters. One is see, iterate method. Where is that iterate method? Iterate method here. It takes the 2 parameters. First parameter, what is the initial value? An initial value called seed element. This is the seed element, and a function which generates the next element. This is the condition using the previous value. The iterate method by design, it is stateful and hence may not be useful in parallel streams. Okay, these are not useful in the parallel streams. See here, stream dot iterate of, the condition is I equal to I into 2. Let's see what they are saying. Here we pass the 2 as the seed value, 2 as the seed value, which becomes the first element of our stream. Okay, this is the first element of the stream starting with 2. This value is passed as an input to the lambda, which returns 4. Here see, we are passing it to lambda, right? 2 into 2, here 2 equal to 2 into 2, I equal to 2 into 2, nothing but 2 into 2 are 4, 2 2s are 4. After that 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16, 16 2s are 32, and so on. This continues until we generate the number of elements specified by the limit. So we have mentioned the limit here. So up to 5 characters, 5 values only, which acts as the terminating condition. File operations. Let's see how could use the stream in file operations. Okay, file writing operation. This is the file writing operation. Throws IO exception. Okay, we are just using the IO exception because we may don't know whether this method throws the exception or not while working on the files. This is the string array with this is the string array with the 4 elements. Here in the try we are placing like this, nothing but we are just assuming that this part of code may throw an exception. That's why we kept in the try block. We are taking the print writer of new buffered writer. We are just writing the file name, writing the file data. Here we use the for each method to write each element of the stream into file by calling printWriter.println. See here, we are creating the stream of words. We got the whatever the array of string array of elements we got here, and for each we have used for each to write each element, whatever the element we got it right. We are using for each to write each element of the stream into the file. This is the file by calling printWriter.println. You understand, right? Read operation, that is the same purpose. See here, palindrome is nothing but what is that? Madam, literal, like that. Okay, means if you reverse the string also, it contains the same number, same what is that? Same number of letters. And if you reverse and if you check it, those two names, means if you say that literal, if you reverse it, you will just get the literal as the name. Okay, that is the string palindrome. So what we are doing here, first filtering out, we are checking the length of the string. We are checking the whatever the input string length equal to length of the data, whatever the length is there, we are checking with the string length equal to that length value or not. We are just ignoring the case of the string. After that, what we are doing, using the string builder, we are reversing the input string and we are converting it to toString, and we are checking that if it is equal, if that is, once we reverse that string also that is equal, then we will get the 0. If it is correct, means that is nothing but a palindrome, string palindrome. If it is not matches with any of these conditions, if doesn't match with any of these conditions, then it is not a string palindrome. Here get palindrome, file.lenseof, get file name, the string, here passing the input string. Here we are getting the complete whatever the means, whatever the logic we have discussed here, this is what we are getting into the that value into the string. So we are passing that string and contains a referent level. If we use files.lines of method, it returns the lines from the file. The method name itself saying that it returns the lines from the file as a stream, which is consumed by the getPalindrome method for further processing. Whereas getPalindrome method works on the stream, completely unaware of how the stream was generated. This also increases the code reusability and simplifies unit testing. getPalindrome. This is very easy, right? No need to go through this. This is stream.iterate. Okay, let's see Java streams improvements in version Java 9. Java 8 brought Java streams to the Java world. However, the following version of the language is also contributed to the feature. So we will now give you a brief overview of improvements that Java 9 brought to the Stream API. Just glance look at the few of the methods. The takewhile method. The takewhile method is one of the new additions to the Stream API. Okay, it does what its name implies. Okay, it takes elements from the stream while a given condition is true. Okay, it takes elements from the stream when the given condition is true. The moment the condition becomes false, it quits and returns a new stream with just the elements that match the predicate. Got it? In other words, it's like a filter with a condition. Let's see the quick example here. Stream.iterate of. what we are saying, if with lambda starting with 1, what we are saying, I equal to I plus 1. Okay, take while, this is the condition, 1 less than or equal to 10. What is the n value here at present? Assume 1 less than or equal to 10, correct. It will be true until 10 less than or equal, no, 11 less than or equal to 10. Okay, till that it will be correct only. Map of what we are doing, we are just x into x, we are using some condition here. In the above code we obtain an infinite stream. Okay, here we obtain the infinite stream and then use the take while method to select the numbers that are less than or equal to 10, less than or equal to 10. After that we calculate their squares and print those. We are calculating their squares and printing the same. We might be wondering what is the difference between the take while and filter, because filter also same way, right? After all, we could accomplish the same result with the following code. Let's see what we will do. Stream dot iterate of I plus 1, and we are checking less than or equal to 10, and we are creating the square root of that. Well, in this particular scenario, the two methods achieve the same result. What are the two methods? Take while and filter. But that's not always the case. Let's illustrate a different example to understand in a better way. Stream dot off, we are creating a stream by passing these values to that. Take while, we are checking each and every element, we are taking it, we are checking first element is less than or equal to 5, that is correct. Second element is fourth element, fifth element. So when it comes to 6 less than or equal to 5, here the condition fails. We are printing the data and see here stream dot off, same elements, same list of elements here, and the same condition and same printing. Okay, the difference we will see here. Here we have two identical streams, same kind of streams. Identical streams means which we filter using take while and filter respectively. So what's the difference here? See here, we will see the main difference now. If we run the code above, we will see that the first version prints out. This is the first version, nothing but this is what take while. This is what take while version. See here, once till the condition is success, until the condition success, it has printed each and every value. Once the condition fails, it comes out of the loop. While the version with filter results, this is for filter method. What it has done, see here, after 5 also, condition generally fails after 5, but still it means it updated it as 0. After that again 0, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It has printed each and every element, though the condition is failed. As we can see here, filter method applies the predicate throughout the whole sequence. On the other hand, the take while stops evaluating as soon as it finds the first occurrence where the condition is false. So take while method is doing that, it will print each and everything, every element until it is failed. Once it fails, it stops evaluating that. But in the case of filter method, it is not like that. It is predicating throughout the whole sequence and printing each and every element, though the condition is failed. Okay. Now we will see iterate method. We have already mentioned the original iterate method that was introduced in 8th version of Java. Just in this session itself, a few minutes ago we have discussed it, right? Java 9 brings an override of the method for the iterate. So what's the difference? What is that? We will see here. As we learned so far, the original information incarnation of the method had two arguments. First one is the initializer. For iterator, the first one is the initializer, aka the seed. We will call it as seed or initializer, and the function that generates the next value. The problem with the method is that it didn't include a way for the loop to quit. Yes, there is no loop to quit. That's the great when you are trying to create infinite streams, but that is not always the case. So we should include the loop quit variable or loop quit condition. In Java 9, we have the new version of iterate, which adds a new parameter, which is a predicate used to decide when the loop should terminate. As long as the condition remains true, we keep going. Let's see example to understand these things in a better way. Okay, stream dot iterate. Stream, we are creating the stream using the iterate method. This is the seed, or what we will call it is the initialization, initial value, and this is the condition I less than or equal to less than 256. Here this is the condition. See here, by seeing it, what you can understand, what you are just remembering, the traditional for loop, starting value, condition, and increment or decrement. For each of we are printing the values. The code above it prints the powers of 2, I into 2, right? That's why it prints the powers of 2 as long as they are less than 256. We could say that the new iterate method is a replacement for the good old first statement. This is the traditional old first statement. In fact, the code above is equivalent to the following. Okay, let's see, it is equal to following. Yes, exactly, right? See, for int I equal to 1, I less than 256, I equal to I into 2. We are printing it. This is same as this one in the newer way. Of nullable. This is also one of the very important method. The last item in this list of additions to the stream APIs, it is very powerful, and it is a way not only to avoid the null pointer exception, but also to write cleaner code. Using of nullable method, we can we can avoid the null pointer exception. Hopefully it is a very straightforward. Then check the following example to understand it very easily. What we are doing, number not equal to null. Yeah, this is a straightforward condition. We are passing it to result, and question mark stream dot of number, creating the stream dot empty. Let's see. Assume that number refers to some integer obtained through the user interface, and the network, the file system, or another external untrusted source. So it could be the null, it may be null. We wouldn't want to create the stream with the null element. See here, we are creating the stream with the number, but unfortunately we got the number as a null. So we don't want to create a stream with the null value, null element. So that could result in the null pointer exception at some or other point. To avoid that, we can check for null and return an empty string. Okay, that is why we are checking here. The example above is a contrived example. Sure, in real life we can say that code in similar scenarios could become really messy, really fast. We could employ of nullable method instead. This is very important in the real time scenarios. Stream dot of nullable of number, we are checking whether that number is null or not. Based upon that, we are passing to the stream, that is a result. The new method returns empty optionals in it receives null, avoiding runtime errors. Instead of avoiding it, instead of throwing the runtime errors, we are simply just checking a null whether we receives the null, right? What we are doing here is we simply pass it to that, and we are avoiding the runtime errors in using the of nullable method. Okay, this is the example how to do it. Some number variable, that is the integer number variable, equal to null assign, we assign null. Stream dot of nullable of number, nothing but we are passing the null value to the stream result. result trigger map of what we are doing x into x, null into null for each. This what? This is what. And I hope that I tried my best to explain you each and every method in the Stream API that is introduced in the Java version 8. Please go through each and every method and try to understand the what is the exact concept beyond that. Okay, and until we get into the next session, can say that only one thing. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for watching the video, and please do subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon to get further notifications on my sessions. Also like it and share it. Have a nice day. Bye bye.